little something. A little bit artsy, but not so crafty. Isabel was very happy to be here this morning to hear me sing. No, I mean, to give her fifth speech out of the manual. She's halfway. As a competent Toastmaster. Wonderful. Please welcome Isabel Nieto.
The weather is perfect. Never too hot, never too cold, perfectly mild. When we were planning our first trip to Mexico, my husband's first trip back to his hometown in 11 years, he talked it up a storm. He sold it to me like it was gold. Perfect weather. So true. In the morning, it was frigid, cold, crisp. In the afternoon, it was stifling hot. And in the evening, if it wasn't enough, here comes the cold again. Then he started telling me about the little quirks of his small town. It's a very rural town. And he would say to me, just wait, as soon as we start driving in, everybody's gonna know in the rest of the town that we've already arrived. True. I noticed it. As soon as we were driving in, I saw some folks standing outside from their home, and then I saw them peeking in and spreading the word, and by the time we reached his mother's house, they knew we had arrived. So that was something that was true. Then his cousin mentioned, oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Especially the part where you put all your laundry in a basket on top of your head and you walk all the way to the other side of town to wash your laundry in the river. Oh. Excuse me, miss, are those tickets refundable? Not true. Just a mean cousin trying to get a good laugh. But the three things that I really loved about this trip were the people, the food, and the lack of pressures. When we arrived, the people welcomed us. They welcomed me. I met my in-laws for the very first time, and they welcomed me like they've known me forever. They welcomed me really like family. And so did the rest of the town. Everywhere we went, everyone knew who I was. I was Leah's wife. And they would invite me into their home, and everyone wanted to feed me and give me food and just share their home with me. It was very nice. The people are very warm, very kind, very giving of the little that they had. And then the food. The food was so good. In the morning, we would wake up early, and my mother-in-law would be at the outdoor kitchen with a pot of coffee and have pastries out. So we'd have a cup of coffee and eat Mexican pastries, so delicious. And then I'd start my day, and around 9 o'clock, my husband would come looking for me. Hey, we're waiting for you. It's time for breakfast. I just had breakfast. We had breakfast. Oh no, that wasn't breakfast. Come on, we're gonna eat breakfast now. Okay, let's have breakfast. So we'd eat breakfast, and then around 1, eat lunch. Around 5, dinner, I thought. Uh-oh. There was another meal afterwards. Around 8, 9 o'clock, we'd go and have tacos from one of the outdoor vendors, and it was so good. The food was just so delicious because everything was made from scratch. And when I say scratch, I mean scratch. I'm talking about the tortillas. My father-in-law would harvest the corn. My mother-in-law would peel the kernels off and soak the kernels for hours. And then in the evening, she would take the buckets of kernels to the mill for grinding. And in the morning, she would go and pick up those buckets of dough. In the buckets was now dough from the mill, and come and she'd make the handmade tortillas from scratch. they were so delicious, very thin, very light, not filling at all. I could eat and eat tortillas, and they were just so good. It was very delicious food. If someone were to tell me that I ate more in that one period of the trip than I have ever in a period of a month, I would believe them, with no doubt. Another thing that I really enjoyed about this trip was the lack of pressure. There was so much of a relaxed environment, and I didn't even notice anyone wearing a watch. No one walked around with a watch. No one's worried about making it to their next appointment or what time they're getting to work. Because a lot of these folks, they worked in the fields, and they had their own fields where they picked crops. So there wasn't any time commitments there. It was just, you get up, you go to work, you come home, you eat. And it was a very relaxed pace of life. The people there, they worked to live, not lived to work. So it was very, as I said, very relaxing. A relaxing atmosphere. There are so many things that I loved about this trip. The great food, no pressures, and when I came back, I was not tired. Have you ever gone to a vacation and felt you need a vacation from your vacation because you're so tired of everything that you did? This was the trip where I did not need another vacation. It was perfect. I can easily say it was my best vacation ever.